fucking Bloodborne. This is actually my absolute favorite game in the world. Um, I'm going to dedicate it to my favorite person in the world. So I'm just going to give this character this name here. Not for any particular reason. Yeah, no big deal there. And then, let's see here. I haven't actually put any thought into how I'm going to play this game. Guess I might do a skill build, actually. I'm quite fond of skill builds. I have some faces saved. I don't fucking know. Yeah, sure, why not? Little fucking albino thing going on here. Little witchery, actually. I think that's why I did the orange eyes. Yeah. Alright. Beef curtains is ready. So yeah, this is actually really my favorite game. And that's kind of uncontestable. It barely beats out the Dark Souls series, but I kind of can't really say that. You know, it's like, oh, it's your best game, so much better than every other game. It's like, well, it's pretty much the same thing as Dark Souls, but it's, I don't know, the stylistic differences and some of the gameplay differences, or I just prefer this game.
Good.
It does feel a little shorter to me than most of the Souls games. I'm actually gonna... What the hell? Environment? Oh, okay, that's what I'm looking for. Just want to turn it down just a little bit. Well, not too much. We'll put it at solid 5s. Alright, and, I mean, fuck it. It's time to get going. So yeah, I feel like I'm actually pretty good at this game now. I was garbage when I first played it. For example, one of the earliest bosses we're going to be fighting is the Blood-Starved Beast. I mean, that won't be in this particular video. We're actually going to fight 2 bosses in this video. Yeah, the Blood-Starved Beast killed me so many goddamn times the first time I fought him, and I don't think he's killed me at all since then. So, you know. Gotten considerably better at playing this game. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Yeah, I'm not picking up these items because, I'll be coming back through here pretty quickly. Okay, so, this game's mechanics are a bit different than Dark Souls. That orange that was on my health bar, it just went away right now. But when I got hit, there was some of it that was filled in with orange instead of the red. If you attack enemies while there is still orange, you regain health. And some weapons are better at that than others. And sometimes you can pretty much regain all the health you lost. But every weapon has different efficiency at doing that. Which is part of the reason the Burial Blade is actually one of my favorite weapons. Unfortunately, it's like the last possible weapon you can get in this game. So, you know, kind of sucks. Alright, so when you get to the Hunter's Dream for the first time, either by doing what I did and running for the first lamp, or by getting killed, you get to choose your equipment. So, although I've picked a character that starts with higher skill, I'm actually going to start with the Saw Cleaver. Just because I personally feel it's a bit more useful in these early parts of the game, at least as far as my particular playstyle is concerned. And I always choose the Hunter's Pistol instead of the Blunderbuss. It's a bit faster, and the only reason I ever use the gun is to parry. And yeah, I just feel more comfortable parrying with the pistol. I'm gonna pop in here, advance Gehrman's dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was...
Okay, we're all done talking to him. This is our bench, which we'll be able to repair stuff and fortify stuff at later. Obviously, we don't have any materials to do that kind of thing with. And here's our storage. I don't think I really have anything to do with that. So now we go back. We're going to go back to the first location rather than the second one, because I want to go back, kill the lycanthrope, and grab the items that we ran past. Because in the early part of the game, blood vials are incredibly important. They become a lot more commonplace later, especially if you're playing relatively carefully. They build up pretty fast. Of course, one tough boss fight can fucking ruin you of your blood vial stores. So it's a good idea to keep up on them. That's one of the major differences between this and Dark Souls is the health is consumable based and not replenished by simply visiting a safe location. So this is another reason to come back to the first lamp is to talk to Yosefka in here. Talk to her. She gives you a blood vial. And then now we're on our way. So the whole thing about Bloodborne that, in my opinion, makes it a bit more fun than Dark Souls, at least as far as I'm concerned, is the whole trick weapon thing. So we've got our weapon here. It's a saw cleaver. It's probably the most iconic and recognizable hunter weapon, because it's on all the artwork and stuff. Transforms between these two states. So short one, we've got really short range but quick attacks. And then we've got this, which is mostly vertical, which I personally don't care for. But a bit more reach. So yeah, we just run right up, kick his ass, and come on, down here. We got a bloodstone shard, so that's useful. And some blood vials, and then I think there's more blood vials and some bullets up here. This is bullets, I know that for sure. And, I'll try to pull off some parries as well. I'll try to demonstrate as much as I can. I know this isn't exactly a new game at this point, but I do love being as educational as possible when it comes to these games. They're one of my favorite games, so I like to kind of show them off as much as possible. Blood vials. Actually, just for fun, we'll take this guy out with the extended form. And strong attacks in this game can be charged, which is a difference from Dark Souls 2, for example. So this game does have many things in common with Demon Souls, such as more of a consumables kind of thing instead of replenishing, and also the lamps function more similarly to archstones than bonfires. So over here we're going to talk to our buddy Gilbert, and once we've exhausted his dialogue we'll move on. You actually get a few items from coming back here at certain points in the game. Like I think after we finish this video today we'll have gotten the flame sprayer, for example, from him. Alright. So here's our first real area we're going to navigate through. This place can kill me on occasion if I'm not being very careful, and especially since I started as a professional type character, I'm not going to have as much vitality to play with in this early part of the game, so I'm going to be extra careful for that reason. Now the other two weapon choices were the Threaded Cane and the Hunter's Axe. The Threaded Cane in its transform state has excellent crowd control capabilities, but I find I'm not as good at aiming with it, if you can, you know, picture what I'm talking about. Because it's got these like wide attack arcs, but some of them kind of have a diagonal kind of slant to them, so it's kind of hard for me to really use it the way I would want to when I'm swinging around. And then it just, until you have really high scaling in skill and have upgraded it a few times, I find that it's just kind of inferior in terms of damage output. You know, versus how easy it is to use. Now, that's a nice little shortcut here, by the way. But I'm not sure I can take this guy right now, because I'm kind of bad at dodging some of his attacks, and I don't really have the vitality to back it up, so we'll not worry about that for now. He's kind of there for his own sake. He's good to practice parrying against, though. You know, because I personally feel like the larger the enemy, the kind of better it is to test parries on. And a lot of these doors you can knock on and hear some dialogue, but it doesn't really matter at all, so I'm going to not be doing that in this video. Killing guys with guns is pretty much guaranteed quicksilver bullets if you need them. Actually, I'm going to try to parry this guy right here. Just okay. Boom! Nice little parry visceral setup. And yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. Viscerals in this game are extremely satisfying, especially just because of how fucking much blood there is in this game. Now, I don't think blood needs to be in a game to make it a good game. I'm not that kind of gamer where I'm like, oh, this game's rated T, it's stupid. But in terms of the game feel of Bloodborne, I feel like just the sheer, just brutal nature of it kind of is helped a lot by how... Oh shit, they're gonna kill me. Yeah, I felt that coming. Yeah, they staggered me, so I kind of just immediately knew I was gonna die. But we can run right back up, thanks to that shortcut I opened. And, honestly, I think I'm just gonna grab the items and move on through the area. It's not especially important that I clear every area out completely. Most important thing is that I finish the goddamn game. I suppose I could have picked another profession to start with, or I'm sorry, not profession, background, character history, whatever the fuck they called it in this game. I honestly don't remember, even though I was just at the character screen, 10 minutes ago. But, yeah, I probably could have chosen one with higher vitality, but I feel like the higher skill is going to be more useful because I learned a leveling trick a long time ago, where basically up until level 30, if you only put points in raising your vitality, it gives you a lot more survivability, and you're not going to have good weapon upgrades for a while, so you're not really going to be benefiting from having higher attack and stuff right away anyway. Oh, no. I fucked up. Oh, God, I didn't expect to get stuck. Okay, that was my bad. 100%. It's a little embarrassing. I mean, this game is tough, and sometimes I get overconfident. I didn't expect to get stuck in that corner, though. I had that problem earlier in another game I was playing. What the hell was I playing? Oh yeah, I was playing Killing Floor 2. I kept getting stuck on these doorways because I was backing up, and then an enemy would hit me, and it would like move my character slightly to one side, and then I would just get stuck next to the door frame, and the model would block me, and I couldn't go through it. It was fucking really frustrating. Which, I suppose I could have made that easier for myself by, looking where I was going when I was running, but still. Just one of those really obnoxious things. Alright, so, actually I think we're just gonna run completely away from these guys for now. We'll come back through here later, probably pick up some of these excess items. There's nothing, like, unique here, nothing we can't obtain in other ways, so it's not hugely important. Ow! Fuck. Also, again, in my defense, I have been playing... this is an extremely bad idea, is the way my brain works. I've been playing The Surge, Dark Souls 2, for the sake of the streaming, and this, just because it's fun. So my sense of dodging is going to be really bad in all of these games. I'm going to try to actually finish playing Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2 before I even go back to playing The Surge, just so it's not a complete nightmare. Especially since that game's dodging is quite different. This is really, to my detriment to try and juggle these games. Alright, now this guy, here's a fun little trick I learned. You can actually, because he has to turn around, you can really fucking easy backstab Visceral on. If you do a strong attack on an enemy that's facing away from you, you set him up for a Visceral. So that's some good advice right there. Now this spot up here actually might kill me also. I find that sometimes being completely reckless and, well, yeah, just being completely reckless sometimes pays off very well, but it's all about the timing. And sometimes the timing just does not work out for me. Which, by the way, if you're coming up here, you want to kill that big guy, because he will turn around and follow you up here. I learned that unpleasantly once. So, dog-type enemies are one of my least favorite things in any game. They're extremely frustrating in this game, because they typically attack quickly, so you can't exactly swing and hit them if they've already hit you once. Just because you're on the back pedal. So, you typically want to just wait until these guys come out. If you try to meet them at the stairs, it's probably going to go poorly. But some good advice for dealing with dogs is if you shoot them with your pistol, or your blunderbuss, or whatever, they always, I think, get knocked on their back. Anything that uses quicksilver bullets always knocks them on their ass. Okay, is there any items over here? I think there's one back here. Yeah. Okay, now we're getting a good amount of shards, but we're going to hold off on upgrading anything for just a bit. I think I might be using the saw spear once we pick that up. That's actually not too bad. So yeah, that direction over there would lead to the Cleric Beast, but actually we're not going to go straight for it. There's some other stuff we need to clear out first. I find that the Cleric Beast has a lot of health for such an early game boss. Especially compared to the Soul series in general. I don't think any other boss in the early game of those games takes as long to kill as this fucker does. So I want to be as prepared as possible. So we're going to get the Hunter's outfit down here. These guys are really good to learn how to parry against, just because they are a bit tough. They can kill you extremely quickly at these early levels. We're going to ignore that one. Going to jump down on this beam, grab, I think, Thick Cold Blood. Yeah. We kill this rat, but oh yeah, shit, I'm trying to heal with the wrong button. Yeah, in this game, healing using your blood vials is using triangle, and using your items is square. They're completely separate, whereas Estus is square on a PS4 controller in Dark Souls, and so are items. They're just all shared on one. Okay, well, before he gets a chance. Now, we've got our Hunter's outfit, which this is... Again, probably the most iconic outfit in the game. It's very much a part of all of the official artworks and stuff. It's very cool. There's nothing down this other way, except for more rats, by the way, so we're not going to even go down that way. Trying to keep the option. Trying to keep this as efficient as possible. Attack this guy just to get some health back. Oh, shit. Well, that was ill-fated, I suppose. Don't quite have the stamina for that sort of thing. Ooh, I keep pushing the wrong button to try and heal. God damn. Alright, we'll just grab that from the pile of dudes here. Now, before we head down that way, we're going to get some stuff from over here, which includes the Saw Spear. I personally think the Saw Spear is superior to the Saw Cleaver. I actually, the first time I played this game, all the way to the end, I finished it using the Saw Spear. No real complaints about it. It's just an extremely effective weapon. We're actually going to run in here, because if I go over there, I'll attract the attention of those long... Yeah, this guy. And if the other two guys were still shooting at me, that probably would have been death, pretty much. There we go. Yeah, fucked. Oh, and if you're injured and you pull off a visceral, you will get all of the orange bar back, regardless. It's just really a nice little thing that happens. Oh, we're also going to be meeting an important NPC character up ahead. They actually are a source of one of my favorite weapons in the game, but we're not going to be using that for quite a while. Maybe not at all, honestly. I'll probably show them off at least, because it's really a fun weapon, but I just recently finished the game using that particular weapon, so I'm not necessarily wanting to do that again. I think I'll be using the Beast Hunter safe on this character. I do typically do skill builds regularly, but I usually mix up the weapon, because there's a lot of variety in this game. When you go like strength or skill or whatever, it's pretty good. I think there's less overall weapons than in a Dark Souls game, but they are all, of course, these really fascinating trick weapons, so it's all good. There we go. As you probably noticed, Quicksilver bullets don't really do a lot of damage, but that's not really the point of the guns in this game. Guns are pretty much parrying and pulling tools. Although, if you have a high blood tinge build, which I guess I haven't really even shown you guys what stats there are in this game. just go ahead and take a look at the screen. Your combat skills are Strength, Skill, Blood Tinge, and Arcane. Personally, I am not a fan of Strength builds, with one exception. But it kind of takes a while to get going on that, so I typically don't do that, honestly. Oh, okay, I just don't want to fall. Damn it. I don't want to fall, and I think that's too short. There we go. Okay. I need to go back down anyway, so I'm going to be jumping down, but I'll talk to Eileen over here first. So yeah, this is Eileen the Crow, beginning of a brutal series of questing. Which I'm probably going to get absolutely murdered on one set of it. But we talk to her, get an item, most importantly, advance the quest, and also we get a little gesture, which is it's pretty cool. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to go down. Just be careful, drop down one level at a time. Okay, now this is kind of obnoxious level design to me personally, the fact that we have to come back up to drop down twice, once for each side that one of the bodies fell on. Got that, which is the saw spear. Cool. And on the other side, I believe, is another bloodstone shard, which those things will become extremely plentiful later, but right now I need all of them that I can get because I want to level this thing up. Now the saw spear, I mean, it's a very similar type of weapon. It's slightly longer. And the transformation mode is infinitely more useful as far as I'm concerned because it goes horizontal attack, which means you can hit, more enemies in a typical engagement. I find that that's it's just something that's extremely not to be underestimated. I mean, look at that. I just killed all those rats. I wasn't even fucking facing the right way. So yeah, Saw Spear is an excellent weapon. Can easily finish the game with this thing, which I did my first time through. When I bought this game, I was still living in a motel, and I actually finished the game before I was able to actually download the expansion. So I didn't have access to any of the DLC weapons. I think, aside from Blade of Mercy and Burial Blade, all of my favorite weapons are in the DLC. Although, I don't know, there's a lot of really good weapons in this game. It's definitely great for experimentation in that sense. Kind of makes it less annoying that the game is, I feel, a little short. I don't know, it's probably not short, I feel like it's shorter in comparison to like Dark Souls 3. But that might be because I'm better at this game than Dark Souls. I've heard some people say this is harder for them than Dark Souls. I personally felt that way at the beginning, but now I feel it's the opposite. Alright, we're all set to move on, so we're going to climb up this ladder one last goddamn time. We're going to navigate around up there, get some more items, and then we are done with this little section. And we'll head up to fight the... or no, we're not going to go fight the Cleric Beast, we're going to open a shortcut first. So yeah, by the end of this broadcast, hopefully we'll have finished killing the Cleric Beast, which will take a bit of time, but it's not really difficult. And then, although, in terms of first bosses in these games, I think he's probably the toughest. This game's structure is slightly different than the Souls games, but, if we're talking like, Last Giant and, Udex Gundyr and Silent Demon. I would consider the Cleric Beast like the first boss in a similar vein. Although I think a lot of people tend to fight Gascoigne first, which is never the way this happens for me. I navigate this beginning area. So, I don't know. I don't know what boss you're intended to fight first, but I find that even if I altered my path to go past the two lycanthropes that I turned left on earlier, if you keep going that direction, you'll end up at the Cleric Beast, so, I don't know. Alright, so we've got a shortcut to open up here, which I don't think I ever use as a shortcut. I only use it to get to the NPC that's up here. But we'll get an item up here and start a little bit of a quest. And I think there's also a couple items up here anyway. Yeah, this thing just has really good range. Just a really usable moveset. It's just a good one. Alright, we got our first Madman's Knowledge. Now, if we wanted to, we could pop that and go to the Hunter's Dream. Because once you have Insight, which there's that eyeball icon on the upper right underneath my Blood Echoes. It's at 0 right now. Once you get at least 1 Insight, you can talk to the doll when you're in the and that's how you level up in this game. But honestly, I don't think it's necessarily going to make much of a difference at this point. So we're just going to hold off a little bit longer. Alright, so here's our shortcut. This goes... I mean, you can probably tell where it is from right here, but it's... come on. Well, so yeah, there's a little girl in here. You talk to her. Agree to find her mother, and we'll be doing that a little bit later. So yeah, this is back in this area. Yeah, we're going to go back down now. And actually, even though I died embarrassingly earlier, or I don't know, I find it personally embarrassing just because I tend to think of myself a little bit more competent than that. Even though I'm, you know, trying to get back in the groove of this for the sake of playing it, which this is really going to interfere with when I go back to Dark Souls 2, because, I mean, I don't know how people are going to watch these things if they watch any of them, but I have finished fighting the Fume Knight, and I'm about to fight Sir Alon. So I imagine that boss fight is now going to be harder because I've taken away the Bloodborne in between. Sweet. Actually, we'll be able to upgrade this thing a couple of times when we head back to the Dream, which I think we'll do just before we fight the Cleric Beast. We don't need to go up this ladder, by the way. It's better that we don't. But we're going to go down here. And you want to close the distance between you and the pig before he's done screaming, because he'll do a charge attack that's very difficult to dodge in that kind of and it will do significant damage, so... Warm him up, drops a few blood vials every time. Got the Saw Hunter's Badge, which that gives you access to all the starting weapons you did not choose. So we could, if we wanted to, transition to the Threaded Cane or the Hunter's Axe at this point. I'm not going to, because I have the Saw Cleaver. The Saw Spear. So I really don't need anything else at this juncture. If I was going to get something else, though, I would get the Hunter's Axe, even though it's a strength weapon, because its strong attack is really useful. Like, it's impressively good. It's a total halberd spin to win style attack, and it really has like a lot of hit to it. It knocks enemies back pretty roughly. Okay, so this leads to Father Gascoigne, who I consider him the second boss, but we're not going to fight him just yet. But we are going to grab this over here, which I think is more blood shards, and kill these bastards. It's almost bad. Yeah, if you're occasionally good at parrying, it really does help a lot. So I definitely recommend it as a skill in this game. I find it's easier to parry in this game than in the other games. Although, I don't know, I got really good at parrying in Demon Souls, oddly enough. Just specifically Demon Souls, though. I'm not very good at it in Dark Souls 2. I'm okay at it in Dark Souls 1, and I don't know if I'm good at it in Dark Souls 3, because I haven't really tried that much. But if we had climbed up that ladder before the pig, this is where we would have ended up. So, yeah. Not terribly useful for us. Now, part of the reason it's important to come from this direction is that this elevator can't be accessed from the top, unless you've already used it. So this way, we just handle that nice and easy. And we're almost to our shortcut. So I'm just going to bypass these two guys. There's no real value to fighting them, honestly. There's no items over there. And, yeah, I mean, that's the end of that sentence, really. Now, this shortcut will give us immediate access to the Cleric Beast from a lamp, so that's very good. And this will also make it easier to get back to Gascoigne if he manages to kill us. Which, in fairness, he might. But I feel a little confident today, in spite of my failure earlier. I've got enough shards for at least 2 upgrades, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this should be fine. Alright, now this guy's an asshole. Kind of forgot to attack him first. I don't know why. Just because I was talking, I was kind of distracted. Alright. Through here, we've got one guy between us and so yeah, this saw spear has a D and D scaling, but the D on the skill side is actually slightly more potent. So if you're running a skill type build, this will actually be the more effective weapon early on in the game. And I think at higher levels too. Alright, now actually we don't really need to go back to the Hunter's Dream just yet. No. I want to upgrade the weapon. Like I say, we'll be getting plenty of Bloodstone shards later, and it'll be a little while before I have the weapon I really want anyway. So it's not at all a wasted investment to upgrade this, because we're gonna have to at least kill Vicar Amelia, and that's probably gonna be a couple videos from now. So yeah, so that'll work out just fine. Saw spear. Boom. Boom. There we go. We've upped the damage nicely. And if we get 2 more Bloodstone shards, we'll actually be in a good spot to... what am I trying to say here? To upgrade it again. And then it'll be as good as it can be for pretty much the intro areas of the game. Then we're going to go back to the Central Yharnam lamp. We've got a little bit more clearing out to do, and then we're going to fight the Cleric Beast. Which hopefully goes well. I don't imagine it won't, unless I get careless, because he's not terribly difficult. He's more of an endurance fight, if anything. I feel like I can actually kill Gascoigne faster, but Gascoigne is definitely more of a difficult boss. He's very quick and quite capable of handing you your ass. And actually, I think we will invest some Blood Echoes in my levels before we do that fight. So, yeah. While we're here, we'll kill this guy again. Easy bullets. And honestly, when you build up a huge amount of bullets, it's hard to go through them all. Unless you're an arcane user and use lots of hunter tools. Which hunter tools are the closest thing this game has to magic, and they feed off of Quicksilver bullets. Let's see. Wait, where am I going? I'm going the wrong way here. Need to go up the stairs. I was unconsciously heading towards Gascoigne, but we'll kill the Cleric Beast first. Files. Now these werewolves are actually up here still, off to the right. I could pull them over here and like cheaply kill them through the doorway, but I don't feel like I'll get lucky enough to get 2 Bloodstone shards. That would be the only real advantage to doing that. Just for fun, we'll alright. Oh, shit. Alright, now the crows are dead. Oh wow, I actually did a not insignificant amount of damage to him. Wow, this thing really, it's really a good weapon. I am consistently impressed every time I do use it again. It's I think it's a more viable option at the beginning of the game for a skill character than the Pathfinder. This is our buddy Cleric Beast. Oh, fuck that, dodge up. Yeah, he's taken some hits for sure. Ah, shit. Wow, I fucking ruined that. Could not have dodged that worse. Whoops. Need to do a transition attack there. Now, if you can manage to hit his face, like, see how I'm hitting his arms and then he had that reaction? I think if you can hit his face, which I might be able to do with this weapon, you'll open him up for a visceral, which is extremely awesome. Ah, shit! I thought I dodged that. I was a little late. Oh, come on. Damn. That extra hit at the end really makes that a tough one. the grab again. Piece of shit. And every time he does that, the little, all that, like the power-up or whatever. God damn. You know what? I'm really not remembering him doing that move in particular. It's kind of interesting. I don't know, maybe I always just dodge it and I'm getting hit by it today. Actually, it's funny. For all the times I played Dark Souls 2, when I fought Vendrick in my most recent playthrough, which is the character that I'm playing on in the stream, he did a move I have never seen him do before. It was a ranged attack. I didn't know he had a ranged attack. Almost got him. Oh, there we go. Got his face. Finish him off with a fucking visceral. Yeah! Oh, he didn't die from that. God damn it. It would have been so cool. Oh. Well, still. Did a decent job kicking his ass. Now our insight is up to 4. If you guys were observant, or of course you already know this game, you would have noticed that when I entered the boss fight, I gained 1 insight. Every time you fight a boss for the first time, like, you know, you walk into the arena for the first time, if you die or quit the game and come back, it doesn't happen again, but you gain 1 insight. And then when you kill them, I don't remember if it's always the same amount for every boss. I typically don't pay attention to insight after a certain point. Alright, well, now we've got our Beckoning Bell and Silencing Blank. And our Old Hunter's Bell. So those are all co-op and multiplayer items and stuff. Though I think the Old Hunter's Bell is only for NPC hunters. I believe. I'm not 100% positive. Okay, so now this will be extremely important for our Gascoigne fight coming up. I'm going to get some vitality. I can beat him with 9, but it is going to be so much harder than it has to be. And like I said, I got that advice once about raising your vitality for the first, like, up to level 30 and then switching your focus, which at that point we're probably going to go with endurance. So instead of going back to the Great Bridge, we're going to go to Central Yharnam because I think that'll be faster. And we're going to go to fight Gascoigne. Now, once we've killed Gascoigne, there's a few more things we'll have to come back through to get. But that shouldn't take very long, and then we're just done with this area for a considerable amount of time. But we're going to have to get the flame sprayer from Gilbert. We've got an old lady to send to the place right after Gascoigne. And we've got to talk to... I mean, I'm just going to spoil this plot line here. The fake Yosefka, because there will be an imposter in her clinic. And, yeah. All will become clear as we go. So yeah, now we're going to go this way. Or actually, I think it'll be safer if we go through the building and then down the side. Yeah. So Gascoigne is another fight that is made considerably easier at some parts if you can pull off a good parry. It at least buys you breathing space, even if your viscerals aren't hitting as hard as they do. Now, I gotta be completely honest here. There is something I'm not sure about, but I'm gonna tell you about it if on the chance that it's true. It's probably not true in the way I think it is, though. Either your skill or your blood tinge stat increases the damage of your visceral, if I'm correct. I don't know if that's true or not. Because I pretty much always do a skill build. And when I don't, it's, you know, my fucking blood tinge build that I use Chikage on, which I need skill to use anyway, so can't 100% be sure on that. Alright, so I'm going to let boss cutscenes play like I do in the Souls series. So we'll just watch this.
Beasts all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
Alright, now there's a dirty little trick you can do here, where you can get him stuck behind the tombstone. We're going to abuse that just ever so slightly. Oh shit. Yeah, see, he is brutal. He is fucking relentless. Which I think is a good training technique for this game, to get you used to what kind of things you're normally fighting against. Because this game is very fast and brutal compared to Dark Souls. They're both difficult, but in different ways. And I feel like this way is hard to get used to if you've been very accustomed to how Souls games play out.
What's that smell?
So yeah, honestly, the fact that he shoots so much is extremely fucking annoying to me.
Oh, it seems to me that's enough to make a man sick.
God damn it, it's so annoying! It doesn't really do a lot of damage, but it's just irritating because it staggers you. Ow, shit. Ugh. And I don't think he can even parry you. I've never been parried by him, so it's not even for setting up parries. It's just annoying. When you fight other hunters, they can definitely parry you, so that's something to be extremely cautious about. He's going to transform into a beast soon. He may kill me at that point. It is an extremely difficult phase for this, basically this wave, because he will hound the shit out of you, and he will back you in corners and jump. We're going to try to parry him. Shit, and as much as you can, don't dodge backwards, because he will fuck you up. I mean, I say that as I dodge backwards, but it's generally true. And get a visceral off on him. Oh, that did plenty of damage. Yeah, when he's in his beast mode, viscerals are extremely useful. Actually, do a finish him off here. Oh, I got him. Okay. Fuck you, buddy. Okay, so we get a lamp here. That went pretty well. And we've got, unfortunately, the little girl's mom is over here. As Gascoigne killed her in his crazy blood frenzy. Now, there's a couple ways that this quest can now play out. What I do at this point, is I tend to just use this, and you get a little blood gem, which I'll be able to socket into my weapon pretty soon here. You can also just show it straight to the girl, in which case she now knows her mom is dead, and you depress the shit out of her before she dies, which always makes me feel like just the worst garbage. You can tell her that you don't know where her is, and then she'll ask if there's a safe place you know about. Now, if you tell her to go to Odin Chapel, which is up here, we just have to talk to an NPC, and then we get that option in conversation with certain characters. She'll go through the sewers and get eaten by the giant pig. And if you tell her to go to Yosefka's clinic, Yosefka fucking turns her into a goddamn abomination. So there's no happy ending for this character. It just sucks. This game is incredibly... it's a downer. It's fun as hell, but god, it's a downer. Alright, so now we are at Odin Chapel. We've got our odd NPC over here, who is just a nice guy. Misunderstood because of his creepy long arms and weird looks, but, you know. Okay, so now when we talk to certain characters, we'll have the option to send them here for safety. There's going to be, you know, a good amount of characters we can do that with. Now, we've just got a few things to do back in the beginning areas, and then we're done. We're done with our first part. But I'm very thorough, and I like to do as much of the content as these games provide, so I have to do this. So we're going to go back to the sick room. We're going to talk to the fake Yosefka, which will give us the option to send people to that clinic, which you don't really want to do unless you want those people to die, pretty much. Which there is one character that is good to do that with, And there's a character who does the opposite of what you tell him. I don't know if there's really a good reason to keep him alive. I just am not, you know, a murderous, bloodthirsty type, so I don't particularly want him to die, even though he's a dick. I can sort of understand people being jerks in a situation like this, being very suspicious and ungrateful. But yeah, we're gonna just head back and finish up those things. So we've got Yosefka talk to. We've got to talk to the little girl, and Gilbert. So yeah, we're gonna talk to Gilbert right now and get the flame sprayer. Not that I'm gonna use it in particular, but oh, I expect him to be on the attack already.
His dad's finished.
You fucking sack of dicks, buddy. Flame sprayer, excellent. Okay, so we're all done talking there. Now we can go down to talk to the little girl. Handy shortcut. And then think about how this would look in a stream. Because we have to reload the area for her to be eaten by the pig, so ordinarily I'd just quit to the main menu. Yeah, I'll just do that. It's faster than going back to a lamp or something. There's no reason not to. Actually, just for fun, we're going to kill this guy while we're here. Because, actually, I don't know if he'll come up behind me while I'm talking to the little girl. I always just kill this guy. It's so easy. Oh, and something that's interesting to point out. I don't know if you guys can tell, especially since I just now am mentioning it. When you do visceral attacks in this game, your hand comes back out of their body, like, grown. It's really gross. I'm assuming it's because of the nature of visceral attacks being linked to the hunter's innate beastliness. They tell you can't find her mom, and you tell her to go to Odin Chapel. And then she'll be eaten by the pig. So we're going to quit the game real quick, and then we're going to just hit continue or whatever. Oh, and I'll just tell you what happens if you send her to Odin Chapel. Or I'm sorry, to Yosefka's clinic. She gets turned into like a gross abomination, and unfortunately, that is the only way to get, I think it's a Formless Odin rune. There's other ones you can get, but that's the only way to get one of them. And, I don't know, I just don't care enough about the Formless Odin runes at all. That's mostly only if you're going for like a cannon-using build or something, or if you just really love having a lot of Quicksilver bullets. But Formless Odin, as I just said, basically, gives you more Quicksilver ammo, maximum. So yeah, now she's not in there. And God, this is so fucking depressing. Am I crazy? Yeah, I feel like that does do more damage in its transform state. Ow, shit! This is my bad. This weapon has really good rally potential. Rally, by the way, since I don't think I've mentioned it by name, is the mechanic that allows you to regain health by dealing damage. Faster weapons are typically less health per hit. But I don't know if there's a specific general rule. Like, for example, when I'm using the Blades of Mercy, I tend to not be able to rely on the regain system very much, just because they don't offer very much health regeneration. I'm not dead. Too fast. Yeah, blood vials, and unfortunately the red messenger ribbon, which is well, it's a ribbon that the girl wore, and now it's fucking covered in her blood because she got eaten by the pig. So, everyone put on your fucking happy smiles and get ready for this game. That's not to say Souls games are any cheerier. I mean, almost every NPC you meet in a Souls game is pretty much guaranteed to die down the road. So. Now, I am playing the patched version of the game with the DLC installed. So if you're playing unpatched for any particular reason, there are certain things that are going to be less stable. For example, I think the environments don't tend to load very well. At least that's definitely the way I remember it. And there's a couple of glitches that can actually ruin certain things for you. For example, I didn't have this problem the first time I played the game, but if you load into a certain area at what I would call the wrong time, you can kill a character and rob yourself of a really cool fight, which might be an advantage to some people if you don't particularly want to have that fight. I mean, it's a very difficult fight, so maybe it's nice for most folks, but, you know, definitely a shame to miss out on that. It's one of the most satisfying fights to win just because of how fucking hard it is. So let's see, do we have anything else to do there? Oh yeah, we have one more thing to go back for, so we'll be done with that area very quickly. We just have one more objective. Quick word on the flame sprayer. Good thing to use if you have arcane. Not terribly useful if not. It uses lots of quicksilver bullets pretty quickly. Oh, excuse me. And, oh god, I just realized what time it is. I got work in a few hours. Shit. I just threw a damper on my night. Especially since I'm kind of tired. Yeah, I'm definitely going to take a nap after this. But yeah, Flame Sprayer uses up bullets pretty quickly. On the upside, it's useful in certain situations. For example, the fight against Rom, the vacuous spider. If I remember correctly, having a decent amount of arcane, you can do a shitload of damage to it. Let's see, am I going the right way for what I'm trying to do? I'm going to picture where this is in my head. I think I'm going the right way. Yeah. So there's this old woman over here. Now this area I could have actually cleared earlier, but there would have been basically no reason to. Because there's not really any items over here that are worth going out of our way for. And we would have just had to come back and do it again. There's an old woman that's in a house over here. And you can't really interact with her until you've at least gone to Odin's Chapel or the Sepkus Clinic. She asks for a place to chill. Alright, I think we're all set. We just kill this fucker. And we tell her where to go. Now she's also kind of a rude, ungrateful bitch. But she does supply you with sedatives later in the game. Which are very useful because Frenzy is a dirty thing that we're going to be introduced to later. Frenzy is a fucking nightmare, by the way. It makes certain parts of this game extremely unpleasant. Alright, so yeah, we're all caught up with this whole area, so now we can move on to Odin Chapel. And then, yeah, that's where our second stream will get set up, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish going there. And then we'll be all set for today. Now, something I'm kind of debating with at this point is whether or not I'm going to do Chalice Dungeons. I feel like I'm going to do some, but I don't feel like I'm going to go through all of it because that's an incredible amount of work. And a lot of it is very, I would say, repetitive viewing, for sure. Because Chalice Dungeons are very similar in their environments, so it'd probably be, I don't know, just like an endless, all the same shit, you know? So, I don't think I'm going to get very much into those, but I'm at least going to show how they work and stuff, just to make sure, you know, for the sake of inclusiveness. Now we're going to hit, yeah, Cathedral Ward. Now, Cathedral Ward is where we'll fight Vicar Amelia. There's quite a bit of work for us to do before then, because we're actually going to go to Old Yharnam first to fight the Bloodstarved Beast, so that'll be the next video is Old Yharnam. And once we fight Vicar Amelia, we'll be able to access the DLC, and that's where I'll be able to get the weapon I'll be using for the probably the entirety of this playthrough. it's just so good. It really is. It's an incredible weapon. I may switch to Blade of Mercy, but I think I'm going to stick with the Beast Hunter safe for this video, because I use Blade of Mercy on my other character pretty much exclusively, once I discovered how much fun I have with them. So yeah, we've got the old woman here now. We'll go ahead and talk to her. She'll just be a rude bitch.
Yeah.
And then we talk to him, and he'll give us a what do you call it? Emote. Gesture. Oh, sorry. Yawning again. And let's see. Yeah, I think we're all poised for our next part of the game. So actually, this place dead ends for now, but we'll be coming back through here anyway. So I tend to try and not repeat areas like that. Actually, we'll come down here and kill this guy real quick. Yeah, as you can see, a little tough, soaking up damage. So I think these are good guys to parry as well. Yeah, see? So fucking useful. Oh yeah, now, I'll explain this later. You want to grab that and get away from it as fast as possible. There's actually a giant space monster living on the side of this building, and that's him trying to grab you if you stand over there. So don't do it. We just grabbed another outfit. I'll go ahead and demo it for you real quick. It's the same outfit as the other one, except with a top hat instead of the hunter's hat with the little face mask. And it's got that little black, what would you call that? The little like cloak that's draped around the shoulders, but it's the same outfit. See, it's just got that extra part on the top. So we'll just, oh yeah, and the other pieces are identical, so there's not really particular reason to switch to them. Yeah, we're all set to go to Old Yharnam, so that's what we'll be doing in the next video. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, and we'll go fight the Bloodstarved Beast, which is an extremely difficult enemy for first-time players. It usually causes them a lot of trouble. But I'll be showing you guys how to beat it without really taking much in the way of damage. Possibly without getting hit. I have killed it without getting hit before. So yeah, we'll see about that. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Oh, shit. How do I end the broadcast? Sorry, I'm not used to this on PS4.